welcome back to We Age Graceful podcast. Oh my God. I'm just so excited today. Today is going to be a really good day. The sun has came out, so that's a good thing. But today I want to talk about aging graceful as a woman over 40. Like I've seen so many women out here like on social media just thriving, looking good. We in our 40s, we're having a good time. And there is some other women who are feeling like kind of stuck a little bit, and that's okay. That is okay, because I'm here. I am here to get you out that stuck zone. I just want to share like a little small guide, that's like helping anybody to get on a path of aging graceful and they're over 40. Like, it doesn't take much to just keep things at bay, look good, smell good, all the things, and just be who you want to be. You know what I mean? You don't have to do what anybody else is doing. Just do what you want to do. So, I just want to just talk a little bit brief about that. So, if you are new and you're just finding my podcast, hey, hi, my name is Kelly. I have a YouTube channel and it's called I Am Kelly B. Can't even get it out. It's called I Am Kelly B. And it's about beauty and lifestyle, about women over 40. You don't have to be over 40. You can be 35, 20, however, if you feel you can relate, hey, you can relate. But I do cater to women 40 and over because I am a woman in my late 40s. So, I gotta stay where I am. But nevertheless, just to kind of give you a little insight, I do normal, simple makeup looks, tutorials. I do vlog over there. In addition to, I just started two new series on my channel. One series is called Life in Your 40s, and I'm in my late 40s, so I'm going to have to, scoot on into my 50s soon. But, right now we got some time. We got about a couple of years. I will be 48 in June, so that's in about a couple of weeks. I will be 48. And I have another channel. I mean, another channel. I have another series I started on my channel. It's called Aging Graceful Diaries. It's just pretty much like what I'm getting ready to talk to you about, but it's going to be in video form. So let's just get right into it. I'm not going to hold it up a little bit. I'm not going to, sugarcoat it. We're just going to get right into it. What is aging? Like, what is aging? Aging is just getting older. We all age differently. It all depends on genetics. It all depends on how we've been handling ourselves throughout the years. All the things, stress levels. Because some people can age quicker than others. All depends, but we're trying to age gracefully. So, what are some things that can help us age gracefully? You know, Keeping our mental in order, just having a positive mindset. And I know easier said than done because, baby, I'm in therapy. Okay? I've been in therapy since the pandemic. So the pandemic started March 2020. I got in therapy August. I will never forget that. I got in therapy August of 2020. And I've been in therapy ever since. Now, have things changed? Absolutely. But, just having a good mindset and understanding where you are, where you were, and where you're trying to go, and trying to stay present. And trust me when I tell you, saying it is easier said than done. But what is some ways that we can age graceful as a woman over 40? Like I said, we just talking about understanding what aging is, having a good mindset, having our mental in order. That's so important because everything else is secondary. I mean, some things are definitely, a everyday essential that I'm going to mention, but, it's something about having that mindset. And, I mentioned before on a previous podcast about how I really feel like for me, the pandemic really, really highlighted so much that was going on in my life that I was suppressing. I hate the pandemic came because so many lost their lives during that time. But for me, it helped me really, really get through a lot of hard times in my life, a lot of things that I suppressed. So I am thankful for that. I'm thankful for that because it was hard facing all those things, and getting through them. So now here I am in my late 40s, and keeping, being mindful, having good emotional health, if that makes any sense. So that's one thing is, understanding what aging is and understanding how it can affect you and your mental and your mindset. Second, something I love is your beauty, your skincare, all those different things, like creating your daily skincare routine, makeup tips, all different things. We're women, we like to look good. And I know everybody doesn't like to wear makeup. I get it. There's some days I don't want to wear makeup. But just pulling yourself together. It doesn't have to mean, putting on lipstick or putting on makeup, foundation. It can just be, just how you normally do. It might be your favorite body lotion, Everybody's not into scents. They just want something unscented. Just pretty much when I say beauty skincare tips, just pour into yourself. Just, make sure that you are well. You got your good deodorant, you got your good lotion, the things that you need, your soap, your body wash, whatever. Just make sure those things that you do have, because having good hygiene makes you feel good. And I know sometimes we can get into a slump, and everybody's different. For me, when I'm in a slump, believe it or not, I be wanting to clean even more. Not just my personal body, but even my home, everything. You get into a slump because you're trying to not think about what is going on. And for me, and I haven't done this in a while, cooking. Cooking was something I used to do when I was like really going through something. I would cook a lot. But now I cook when I have to. But yeah, one good tip, for aging graceful, having good skincare, beauty tips, I'm all about handling our mature skin, a good skincare routine. And you don't have to have anything expensive. It could be something that's within reason. As long as you are targeting the age you need to target. Like if you have dry skin, get some moisturizing products, get you some, hydrating things, things like that. And if you have oily skin, so forth and so on. But yeah, do those facials, those massages, get you a dermatologist if you have to, pour into yourself. And yes, some things may cost you some money. I sit back and think about all things I waste money on if it's just going into like simple stores, Five Below. Why am I in there? Those $5 that I'm spending, I could be getting me some really good skincare, doing something that I need, I want, pour into yourself. That's what we do, And I feel like when it comes to makeup, makeup doesn't have to turn you into a whole new person. I feel like makeup should just enhance your beauty. If that makes any sense. Have a good skincare and beauty, routine, get into yourself. Next, healthy lifestyle choices. So, I'm sitting here because I'm like, Kelly, you struggle with this, and you're sitting here talking about this. Nutrition. You know, I'm fairly good. I'm fairly good, but there's some things that I do like. I did go on a really good health streak where I had a little scare with like pressure issues, like high blood pressure, and that made other areas kind of like tick up. So I had to get some things in order. I had to stop eating out. I used to eat out every Friday. That was like the treat for the family. We went to work, we went to school. Now it's like, let's just sit at the table, let's have us a good meal, let's laugh, let's talk about what happened during our week, because sometimes you can get kind of like, in and out. You still may eat dinner together, but you still was just missing some pieces. So Friday and Saturday was our time to kind of like pull together. But I had to pull it together because Kelly wasn't going to go out with no high blood pressure, cholesterol, and everything else. So I had to cut it out. You don't realize, even if you go to a restaurant and you might be eating salmon, having a salad, the way they cook that salmon, they might be slathering on that grill all these different oils that triggers everything else, and it's just so much. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, because I still go out every now and then, but I limit it. I don't do it how I used to. When I say we went out every Friday and Saturday, we went out every Friday and Saturday. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So I just pretty much go to the grocery store, get what I need. I load up on the veggies because that's really important with the fiber, keeping everything regular. You got to make sure you do all the things in that area. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Exercise. I'm at a point in my life, I'm not on nobody's treadmill and I'm not exercising like I'm getting chased by a dog. We're not doing that. We're just going to do something that's going to keep the blood flowing, keep the heart pumping, and just keeping it, regular. Like my neighborhood, everybody walks different times, but I want to say roughly around 7, between 6, 7, and 8. There's some 9 o'clockers out there because, everybody ring bells be going off. But that's like the time I said I might need to join my neighbors because instead of me just saying hey, I might need to get out there and be like come on, let me get it with you. So I may do that, but exercise, make sure it's just all about keeping the blood flow, the heart moving, and keeping some good cardio. Strength training is definitely important. I was going to my local Y, and I was paying a hefty penny because I didn't want to go to a regular gym because it was just too much. It was like a show. It was like nobody was getting nothing done. It was a big distraction, and I was like, I can't do this. And I felt like, how you go when you feel like somebody's watching you, but really not. Here, they were watching you. They were like looking for the opportunity to come in and be like, hey, you need some help? No damn help. You need to be on the machine working, so I said I was going to go to the Y so I can have a nice experience. Everybody in there was focused, headphones on, people was doing what they're supposed to do. And not only that, I was able to do spin, Pilates, yoga, hot yoga, and had a sauna and a pool. And, all the different things you wanted. So, of course, you pay more, but you get more. And I had to stop my membership because I wasn't going to pay because these last 2 months I couldn't go. So I was like, I'm not going to sit here and pay you guys $60 a month and I can't go. So I did pause my membership. But yeah, mental health. Let's get into it. Mental health. So this is a part of making these healthy lifestyle choices. Mental health. Monitoring your stress management. Having mental clarity, emotional balance, and I found all that through my therapist. So it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay. I know for me, I can only speak, for things that I may have experienced. It was like going to therapy, especially for like men. It was like going to therapy, it's like you don't tell nobody your business. What happens in your house stays in your house, and all the different things. No, talk about it, get off your chest. Your body is not meant to hold it in. I just recently purchased a book. I got it for like $7 in Target. I'm looking around to see where it is. It's called The Body Keeps Score. And when I tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, next up, let's get into like fashion and style. I'm not a big fashion person by any means. I'm not even like a name brandy person. A name brandy, like designer, I should say. I like if it looks nice. I like it. I'm okay with it. Now, do I own a couple little designer pieces? Yeah, and I feel like I bought it just to because I was getting it for a reward or treating myself because I deserve it. But at the end of the day, it did not make me happy. It did not make me. And I'm not saying you buy it to make you happy, but it still didn't. I didn't feel it did anything for me. So I do like my affordable items. I am a H&M girly. The outfit I have on today is a H&M outfit. It's about maybe a year or two old. So yeah, I like a good affordable number. Purses, bags. Or I like affordable. But do I spend something? Yeah, I have. I do. I do. I do. I do. But when it comes to fashion, get something that makes you feel comfortable. Understand what your style is, and wear things that enhance your body shape or complements your body shape. I really feel that's super, super important. I'm more of a casual gal. I'm not nothing fancy. You know, jeans and t-shirts is good for me, but you can kind of wear jeans and t-shirt where it can look kind of stand. Might want to put a little pump, a little kitten heel. Might want to wear a little sneaker. It's all just how you pull it together. But I really feel like updating your style, doing it at affordable cost. And if you do have high taste, start out low and then kind of go up, as you expand and see what you actually like. Because when you start getting into those designer pieces and higher quality pieces, then, instead of, having like fast fashion, like the H&M's and the Zara's, those pieces cost more. So you want to make sure you know the brand and you kind of, get into all those things. Find out what your staples are, what you like. You might like two-piece sets. You might like matching cords. Like, I have on a matching cord right now. I love a good number like this because it helps you eliminate what shirt do I wear, what pants do I wear. But if you have something like this, you can always mix and match. Like I can wear this shirt with a pair of jeans or a pair of like black slacks, or the pants I can wear with a black top. You can always mix and match when it comes to like cords. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. you know. And I mentioned before about your body style, work with what you have. And at the end of the day, wear what makes you happy, express you. I think about me and my daughters. We all have three different styles. Of course, I'm an older generation. I'm Gen X. My oldest is millennial. My baby's a Gen Z. So we all have different styles. And the crazy part about it, we are all on the younger side of our generation. So I'm like 2-3 years before if millennials started. So I'm really close to like older millennials, and that's why I relate probably to them. And then like my oldest daughter, she's close to Gen Z, and then my youngest, she's close to Alpha. It's so weird, but wear what makes you happy, find your style, and yeah. Now, it's so many. I want to get into like talking about people that I kind of like listen to, but I don't know all their names. I should have wrote them down. But what I do is I do listen to other podcasts. There's so many other podcasts that you can listen to that can give you inspiration and can, kind of open your mind and make you think a little bit different, maybe a way you may have not thought before. Not changing you or anything like that, but just, open new horizons. And I did find that through podcasting, and I also found it in watching different YouTubers. I recently cleaned out a lot of my subscriptions on YouTube because I do watch a lot of YouTube, and I started if I wasn't able to listen to a podcast in my car or on my, while I'm cooking or something, I would watch video podcasts because again, I'm a YouTuber, first and foremost. So my first thing is to pick my laptop up and turn it on and look. But I've definitely found some inspirational women who have different experiences, who have wisdom in different areas where I've actually learned from, and now I'm following their journey because it's like a virtual mentor, if you will. That's how I look at it. Yeah. But yeah, I want to just briefly talk about how you can just age gracefully as a woman over 40. There's so many different arrows and pathways you can take. But, my thing is, understanding what aging is, having your mindset straight, having yourself just pulled together, your beauty, in addition to your lifestyle choices and things like that. And as you probably can tell, and in your fashion, of course, and, and inspirational books and all the things, I have not yet mentioned anything about a partner, a spouse, or anything because I think I shared before, I was at a point in my life where I was definitely a delusional woman. I felt like, always had to be about a man, a man, a man, a man, a man. And then I'm always, where I am now, that's not the case. I got friends that can probably contest to what I just said. And I don't want to blame it on anything, but when you grow up with your family and you see everybody, husband, wives, and boyfriends, and this, and you feel like that's how you're supposed to have it, and that's how life's supposed to be. But then you sit back, and as you get older, that's not important. Having that is not important. Well, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. Me aging graceful is about me. And I'm at a point in my life where it is about me. Now, if you have a spouse and you have a partner, beautiful, beautiful. I'm not showing it. It's a beautiful thing. Maybe later on down the line, it, may happen for me. But right now, and I'm happy. I also wish that my delusion, like I wish where I am now, I would have known certain things before. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. Everybody's wake up is different. Some people woke up in 20s and 30s and so forth. I it happened to me in my 40s. But, and I also learned too, just because people are in relation doesn't mean they're happy. Some people do it for stability. Some people do it for convenience. And you sit back and you're running to be with someone or be in something. And at the end of the day, people wishing they were you. You know what I mean? This is a bonus. There's nothing to do with aging graceful. This is just a bonus. We're just having extra talk because I just feel like shooting the breeze right now. But yeah, I hope the I think I gave you four. Let me see. Let me look. One, two, three, four, five. Five little tips that I gave in regards to aging graceful as a woman over 40. Things just to kind of have a little guide. I recently got into, well, I don't say within the last year or so, over a year. I got into reading and stuff. So reading is like a big part of my life. I'm looking right now at my bookshelf and it's growing ever so lovely, So aging graceful is different for everyone. I'm just, giving out some tips, to just age graceful. And it's also about, just caring for yourself on the inside. Care for yourself. That's how you age gracefully. Just care for yourself. Me mentioning about beauty tips, yeah, that'll help with skin, clothes, your appearance, yeah, you know, but it's all about inside. It's all about inside not only in your heart but in your mind. Your body is so it's all of that. So yeah, girl, I am loving the progress that I'm having within me. I want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate you guys for being here. And I will see you in the next episode. And if you have any uh episode suggestions, leave them in the comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it.